question, at this time when you are filming this, like day 4, or let's say, this is Friday has passed, you haven't been given Tuesday has passed, you haven't been given the chums, Friday has come, you've been told no chums, all these dramas that happen, what's your emotional state?
Panic, because now I'm starting to run out of chums, because there's expenses for every day. Let me give you
now what
perspective.
about that needs to be paid in cash as soon? Yeah.
Let me give you perspective. We have minimum 60 people on set every day. These people have to be picked and dropped from home every single day. So on set, we had, I think, 4 or 5 vans. So those are vans, drivers, fuel.
Hired.
The small cars that we had hired. There's of course expenses on the set. There's food that has to be bought. There's water that has to be bought. There's every day we had an ambulance on set.
By the law.
Well, so because you're in the forest, you have to have toilets.
Yeah. Wow.
So money is being spent.
How much are you burning a day?
I think on just the basic expenses, without counting now like hire of this and this and this, anywhere between 80 to 150k a day. Because you have to keep on buying supplies, paying for this here and there, or you need to...
We're not even talked about salos or anything. This is just to make the shoot happen.
Yes. You haven't talked about, if you're talking about salos, maybe you're talking about someone who appeared in a small scene, so you're giving them 5k, 10k, and they're gone.
Yeah.
You know, just small money, amounts of money. But let me tell you.
So now your chums are beginning to start running out.
My chums are beginning to start running out. Then, we sat with Lucas and my wife, Betty, and we are like, Aki, what do we do? Now, to keep us going, God sends an angel in the form of a man called Anthony Masharia. So this man called Anthony Masharia is a friend to Lucas. And then I later learned that kumbe I was in high school with him, but I didn't know. Like, we didn't really know each other at that point. So Lucas had told him about this movie. Then I think at some point Lucas just talked to him and told him, hey, we are doing it now, you know. So Lucas tells me, he gives me that backstory. Then he tells me, this guy Anthony would like to see you. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I still have the hope of the other 4M and 2M that I've been told. But let me just go and see this guy and hear what he has to say. Because Lucas told me he wants to help us. So I go see him. I have a pitch deck. I present to him. I even show him some photos from my phone of how we've started shooting. So I'm waiting for him to tell me, I'll think about it. So me, I want to finish with him.
So you can go to
so that I can go and now look for chums. The guy tells me, give me your account details. I'll send your name tomorrow. Let me tell you, that's the point you start looking around to wondering who is cutting onions. Because...
But even over here, I'm feeling it. That's crazy.
Then even when he told me that, I was like, remember I'm coming from, I'll give you 5M, then it's not available. So I'm still not believing. The guy tells me, just give me your account details. So he asks me if I have some documentation to sign, like for investors, Nini. Luckily, I'd prepared those. So I give him. So I'm waiting for him to tell me he'll go through them, Nini. So he just told me, okay, tell me about them. So I told him. And luckily, I'd done, I think it was like 3 or 4 pages. So he skimmed through. So me, I'm trying to contain my excitement and now hoping that nothing that he sees in the document will make him change his mind. Then I see him grabbing a pen and he signs and he writes 1 million. But me, I'm still cautiously optimistic.
Because you're like, until I see kwa ndani ya account, nothing has come.
So see me, the next day I go. So for me, it was a hassle of, see now my money has katikad kabisa. So now it's about these daily expenses. How do I meet these daily expenses?
And that's stress.
It's stress. So what do I start doing? I start borrowing money from people. But luckily, while I'm trying to borrow money from some people are also asking me like, so how is the nini going? So I tell them nini. So I even had some friends. I invited some friends to the set. Like Nameless came to the set one night. I showed him everything. So Nameless just told me, hey, Pole, there's a project that I'm doing that is taking up my chums, but here is 30 Gs. Nameless gave me 30 Gs. Like, not lending me, like gave me 30 Gs. I don't think he even remembers.
Which is gold at that time.
But let me tell you, do you know what that does to you? It just gives you energy to keep going. There's a friend I have, an angel. Yani, I can't even say her name publicly, so I call her Moira. But a few people know who she is. Moira, when I told her about this dream of mine of doing this movie, she believed, and I realized that it was a number of people who were in the same space. Like, I'm not sure you can do this, but I'm going to support you to try. You know, you don't realize it, but that's a big thing. Like, someone is willing to give you money to try out something.
Whether or not you fail.
Yeah. So, one day she called me. One of those days, actually, funny enough, it was the day after now I'd signed with Anthony. Then he told me he'll send me the money the next day. Moira calls me and asks me, how is it going? I tell her, wait, I'm stressed. So she asks me what you've asked me, like, how much is it costing per day? So I told her somewhere between 80 and 150 a day. Let me tell you, Moira lives in Karen. Nikikwambia hivyo, I think you know who it is. I know who it
is, I do.
On her way home, she brought me 100 Gs. I even told her, the set is pale. See, we go, I show you. You know those ones of, I'm trying to show you this money you're giving me. Sendi kutumia vibaya. She's like, Fakii, it's okay. You just go. Like I was inviting her to the set just to see, just look at what we, Bila. She's like, it's okay, Fakii, just do your thing. I think she even told me she has a meeting or something. So that's how I was surviving. I have a friend called Shodha. His name is even on the credits as co-executive producer. I have a friend called Kensara. Those guys gave me chums. I think Kensara gave me like 350 or 400K.
What?
Shodha, I think, gave me about 2 something.
Give?
Yeah. Like, for them, that one was, here, the day you'll be able to pay, sawa. So they just gave me chums like that. Then now, that day after Moira brought me the 100K, as I'm driving back to the set,
ting ting, the meter clears.
The guy calls me and tells me, I'm having a problem with your account. I can't seem to send the money. So we went through the account details I'd given him. Then we realized that there's a number that he had missed. Luckily, he was in the same bank as me. So then he told me, because I know a meter might be an issue, I'm sending you 5 sock today, I'll send you 5 sock tomorrow. Do you know, I turned the car around, drove to Junction. So there's an NCBA there. I sat in the parking lot waiting to get the SMS. Let me tell you, that SMS I ingeared the bank and withdrew all of it.
Because you needed it.
I needed it. Like there were things that were going to be stuck for the next day.
In fact, that's a good thing. Let's talk about this. There's times where delayed the fact that you don't, I mean, first of all, there's pressure, and when you're not paying guys, it changes their mood. Because I won't say, come on, lipi, bila ido, especially production. If you're not paying me for this thing today, it can become stressous. Maybe they won't pick up your guys, and that affects that person is in a scene or something. So that cash you needed.
And let me tell you, the point when now these guys started giving me money, giving me support, encouraging me, because I had some of these guys I'm talking about, because like that night, Anthony came to the set. He came to the set, we walked around, like we showed him everything. You know, at that point, you know when you're showing an investor how you're using his money? So yani you're showing him everything. You're showing him everything, you know. Like, so I had friends who would come to the set to just check it out, Nini. So what these guys did and they didn't realize between Moira, my pal Ken, my pal Shodha, and Anthony, is they gave us the motisha to
the
go
fuel,
on.
the fuel.
And there's something that hit me, and it was a scary thing to tell my wife and Lucas. I told them, where we've figured, I don't know how we are going to finance some of those last days. But guys, imagine, even if we borrow, we have to do it, because this is how I was picturing it. If we stop the production now, we will have no product,
and debt,
but we'll still be in debt, because there are people here, even if you stop day 10 of day 20, you still have to pay for the 20 days. And that was most of the people. So for me, I was like, I'd rather be in debt and have a product than I be in debt and I don't have a product. So I was like, I am going to borrow and borrow and borrow until I can.
Wow.
At that point, one of the businesses that I was trying to do with Alovi, my pal, was we had like we were operating like a talent agency, and we had booked some people for jobs. So the money used to come through us. So there's one of our clients, when their money came through, and I called them and begged, please, let me use your money. Please, I swear I'll pay you.
You called them?
Yeah.
To tell them your chums has come, can I use your chums?
Yeah.
What did they say?
She said, Sawa.
Wow.
And you know, she never pressured me for her money, which I paid her almost 2 years later.
Wow.
You know who this is?
No.
Amina Rabah.
I mean, it's good peeps though, but still, that's insane.
Never pressured me. Paka, there's a day when I met her, she's the one who told me, Fakii, don't be afraid of talking to me. You know, like she's like, I know you'll pay me. You know.
Guy.
Almost 2 years later. Anyway,
so how much are you burning a day? Why is a meter going like that? Why is a meter going so fast?
Because at that point then, there are some things that maybe you've hired and you've promised the guys that you'll pay them later.
Oh, I get
that
it.
later has figured.
That later
but
has
remember, for me, when I was hiring those things, some things I was hiring on Monday, knowing Tuesday, niko na 5 meter in cash. So now lipa Wednesday.
So what about the 4 meter and the 2 meter?
See, I'm still chasing those ones.
Did they ever come through?
Ones. I'll tell you about those ones.
You get in your movie. In the movie. Forget that. This is the movie.
Now.
In fact, this is the behind the scenes for this thing. What?
The day before, that week before we shot, I think it was that same Thursday, now before the Friday, for this guy promising me the money. There was a bit of miscommunication, so I got the impression that part of the things that we'll get from film studios was a camera. And the story was it was being imported, so it would have landed by then. But it wasn't the case.
Oh.
So it's Thursday, we don't have a camera. My DOP Enos and the first assistant camera, Ben Kiilu, need to know what are we using so that they plan lenses because of day and night shoots, what we'll need, the rigs, you know, the rig.
Yeah.
You know, hatuna camera.
Hungry? Order your favorite meals and drinks from hundreds of restaurants through the best app and have your food delivered to your doorstep. Download the Afri delivery app now.
So that's more revenues than you've ever had suddenly in your accounts.
Dude, it was unbelievable. It was absolutely unbelievable. I had not seen such numbers ever.
But had you learned the lesson that this is not my money and this is somebody else's
That's
money?
where now I learned. Yeah.
What made you learn?
So, fast forward now to 2020, COVID hit. So when COVID hits, it came with the good and the bad. Okay? So you've got a lot of, first of all, you've got a lot of partners coming onto you.
Oh.
Now the restaurants are closing. They need to be on a delivery platform because now people are not going to restaurants anymore, lockdowns, so on and so forth.
Wow.
And I get excited. I'm like, you know what? Take everyone come in. I don't care.
You take the ball.
Whether it's a good deal or a bad deal, I don't care. Take it. Man, I had not calculated my commercials to understand the difference between a good deal and a bad deal. And it took me maybe until the end of the year of 2020 to recognize that I had lost so much money. It had trickled down to millions of shillings, tens of millions of shillings.
In loss?
In losses, in cash missing.
I don't understand. What would a bad deal be?
So a bad deal is where you're spending more than you're making.
But why would you spend more than you're making with the restaurant?
Because your cost is higher. For example, if you're not given the right margins, okay? First of all, okay, number one, you have to calculate the cost of, let's say, each delivery, okay? So if I'm spending more on each delivery.
In terms of even just the cost of delivery.
And also now, the biggest mistake I made is I took low revenue or low margin partners. So what happened is I'm using good money, chasing bad money. So I would spend most of my resources, would focus on making delivering, fulfilling low margin restaurants. Okay? So, and all this time you have a capacity. That means you're locking out customers that will potentially buy from high margin restaurants. But all this time you can't see that because your cash is still fine. You've got money.
And of course, even the consumers increased in terms of
Yeah.
them now coming to the platform because there's lockdowns.
Exactly. I mean, everything is, dude, you're the biggest. You're huge. It's a privilege. There was a queue. I tell you, no, you think you can only go live in a month.
What?
Yeah.
So how that expansion sounds good, but it sounds like it was crazy.
It was crazy. And also, let me tell you something. One thing I neglected, cost of growth. Let me tell you, cost of growth, and that's why now the dollar got a lost value. My cost of growth was so high, and I bought so much and invested so much, but I never knew how much it was.
When you talk about cost of growth, you're talking about now growing into other towns.
Growing into other towns, adding more bikes, adding more employees.
Well, how many towns did you expand to?
3.
So now, currently, where are you? In what towns?
So in Lusaka, Kitwe, and Dola.
At that time, you expanded into
2. So we added 2 more. They're still the same ones.
Okay. Dola and Kitwe.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the cost of expansion, you mean setting up offices there,
Setting up
buying
offices.
bikes for that side, getting employees who are going to be on that side.
Yeah.
And some of these are fixed costs that are they are capital costs.
Yeah, capital cost. Capex. Your capex is insane. You don't even know because you've got cash.
So when do you find out? When they begin calling in their money?
Yeah. They're like, yo, our balance. And then now you check and you're like, ish, which balance? Which balance is this you're talking about, sir?
November and December.
Yeah. November, December, you haven't been paid. What's going on? Man. You start doing your math and you're like, no, what are you talking about? So all this time, what was happening? Majority of the money went through fraud, yeah? So there were certain controls that were not followed properly.
Fraud meaning your employees stealing from you.
Some of my employees, customers not making payments. Because don't forget, the verification of payments is not happening in real time. So you would lose probably like 10 million every month on customers not paying. Can you imagine losing 10 million shillings?
What?
Yeah. How much is $10,000?
Yes.
It's 10 million.
No, it's $10,000 is 1 million.
Yeah, like 1 million of customers not paying.
Jeez.
A month.
Why? Because they said they've paid with the credit card.
No, they say, I sent the payment through mobile money or whatever. But there's nobody to verify in real time. Yeah, and the food has already been delivered or whatever I was being delivering. We used to stock cement. I stopped that because cement would just be stolen by the what do we call them? Those boys, offloaders. Yeah. There was so much. It was like Pablo's business. There's so much cash coming in. And you guys are stealing from you. You only find this out when you're months in. And the figures they're giving you are so unrealistic. And it's like, oh, let me get back to you. Go get a drink and then you come back. Yeah. Because this time there are some balances that are being mentioned and I'm like, no, it's impossible.
The balances that they want, that they're owed.
I remember there's an audit that we did for one of the guys for a whole year, and I had an idea that balance was paid, but it wasn't actually paid. Some of it wasn't paid, which came to about $10,000.
1 million shillings.
Another 1 million. I think my liabilities were like 20 billion shillings.
What?
Yeah.
So how do you stay sane in that period?
You can't.
So what happened to you mentally?
So mentally, I lose it. So first of all, I started not pushing that to other people at the office. I'm like, don't call me. Just call these guys. Okay. So first of all, everybody around you becomes your enemy because you can't trust anyone. Because my question is, how did anybody see this? All those departments have got department heads.
Probably you're in cahoots.
Yeah. How did nobody see this? But another issue, you can't fire everybody because what are you going to do? You're going to run the business alone? You can't. So the first thing you do is you make it clear that you don't trust them. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That everybody now here is here to prove themselves that they're not the culprit. Okay? So if your department has been losing money, your job is to do your own internal audit. If you're missing 10 million, it has to come from somewhere. So first thing I stop keeping stock. So I'm no longer keeping stock. And then I stop accepting all that cash. So I tell the guys, for the sake of our partnership, here I'll still sell for you, but I'll pay you cash. Okay, so if a customer pays me today, I will pay you now. I don't want to keep it as I recover what was lost. Yeah. But at this time, don't forget I can't get a loan.
Because you're a foreigner.
Because I'm a foreigner.
But your business is doing well.
My business has always done well.
So why can't you get a loan on the basis of that?
Because they need collateral, landed collateral, of which I don't have, title deeds and stuff.
They need they need land. And as a foreigner, a title deed, and as a foreigner, you can't buy land in this country.
Not only that I can't buy land, I don't have it. I don't don't have it. And they don't.
What I can't buy? I don't have.
They not only want land, but they want land that you have built on. Yeah. So tell me. Me, first of all, was very much in denial that I actually owed that money.
I was just give me a figure of how much debt you owed. You were in.
As of December 2020, it was about 10 million shillings. More. That's $100,000.
Yes.
Slightly more. Or slightly less.
Okay. So you can't get a loan.
Can't get a loan.
You've made it clear you can't trust people. You don't know who's stealing from you. You don't know who's in partnership.
Yeah. Even your customers are stealing. Everybody's stealing from you. But I'm sure the customers are ate for free for a year.
So, but now you can't go after customers.
You can't. How? If the customer placed an order last week.
Okay, so you first of all, to mitigate it, you tell some restaurants or shops, I'll be paying you cash
because I don't want this debt to keep accumulating until I zip my loopholes.
So what happens? The bike riders bring you the cash every day and then you pay it.
Yeah. No, they pay, and then they receive it. It's a small exchange. It's recycled. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They go. Somebody orders. They go. When they're picking up the food, they pay.
Yeah.
Then when they go in they
receive the payment.
They receive the payment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they'll use that payment to make the next payment. It's not like they.
What happens though if they don't receive it in cash?
Then you have to send them offload.
So every morning, do you give your drivers a stipend?
Yeah, every morning they've got a float.
A float for their fuel?
For their fuel? No, fuel, they've got fuel cards now. They don't necessarily need to use that float.
But before, did they used to give them cash or did they used to have fuel cards?
Yeah, they used to get cash.
Okay, so did you bring in the fuel cards to mitigate that as well?
Yeah, my drivers would. Man.
And how do you know if a driver comes and tells you, a rider comes and tells you, I put 300 kwacha for fuel and they rode 2 kilometers?
You can tell by the number of the distance is covered.
How do you know the distance covered?
So there's a map. Each rider has a map every day that's produced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were these systems always in place?
No. They were, but they were never utilized.
Oh, this situation made you...
Yeah, so now you have to start... First of all, you have to face your problems. But before you face your problems, there's a phase you have to go through. They call it denial, right? They call it denial. And you beat yourself up, man.
Okay, so mentally, this is what you are doing now.
Yeah, so now, man, I was like, first of all, I started drinking. And it got so bad. So bad. It became a daily thing now. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to touch on things that we go back into because now this is the beginning of Purpose Center. Yeah. We'll even talk about the name and all of this, but I want to understand, you said there's a job that you got.
Yes. So when I came, I did some interviews, and the Kenyan market was different from what I was used to. I was coming with really, really good experience, but it was a bit far. It was ahead of its time in terms of where Kenya was with data. So I remember me pushing hard on saying I want to build my own credit bureau for data and for banks and for all that stuff. My father being a banker, I took that same line he was in, and but now I wanted to deal with data because that's what we were doing there. But there wasn't much available data. And so I went to work for this amazing guy called Steve Mills, and worked at a place called CRBS. God would have it. God just opened my doors. I didn't go for 10 interviews. I went for one interview. One. The guy said, come. Then he told me, I'll pay you 60K. So I did the math of 60K versus what I was earning. That was almost what I was earning in a day. And I'm here being told this is what you'll earn in a month. Like, no. No. So then they call me back. So this guy in there called Ashton calls me back. He says, hey, I'm a senior consultant here in this company. And we became good friends with Ashton till today. And Ashton said to me, here's what you tell this Muse. Tell him you're going to work for him, but for this much. I said, yeah, tell him you want this much. And then you come and I'll help you. And I went and I told him, and somehow it just happened. The guy said, okay.
And this was huge amounts more than what he was offering.
I mean, put it this, probably almost 10 times more. And the guy's like, just tell him and then leave the rest to me. Because your experience, we need it. And, we came in, we did things, and that was a good entry into Kenya, good introduction into the business world. I got to understand a lot. I worked for this entity. I helped them scale up their numbers. They helped me get experience.
What experience would you say you were lacking in Kenya?
I needed to understand the culture, the working culture. America is very fast. It can be arrogant. So I also needed to humble myself and learn the nature of work here. So within the Eastern African society, Kenya is considered very fast, but I found it very slow.
That's very interesting to hear.
We are so far behind. So I'm like, we need to build this credit bureau. So this man had invested 15, 20 years of work towards credit bureaus, banks sharing data for there to be advancement of how these banks are then collateralized by funding partners and how that works. So I was the first East Africa Credit Bureau Association, vice chairman. We formed that association. We started talking to banks in Kenya, Uganda, Zambia, Rwanda. You need to form credit bureaus. You need to share data. People are misusing loans. That's how this thing started being lobbied, put into parliament. So that was my first entry to the market, So, and then after that, there was a misunderstanding with my boss because I wanted to start my own company, but when I met him, he didn't want me to start. He said, come and then we'll do some things together. Long story short, we had a misunderstanding and I left and started my own business. And the misunderstanding just grew from a place of, he thought I wanted to do certain things with his company. I was not interested in that. And I just felt there was a conflict. By the way, we're still very good friends. We're still very good friends with him. So that misunderstanding ushered me to now venture into the world of starting my own businesses. And so I started the church and my own business now at 30.
Oh, man. What year is this?
This is 2000 and... since 2006. So that's when I did this work for Steve and the company. I started the church at 2007. I was 31.
Yes.
2007, January, church starts. My new company starts, and my wife is expecting a baby. Let me tell you.
What did you call the company?
Quest. I started my first business, Quest. I was working with banks. Again, that whole credit bureau thinking and all. Very interesting world. Very, very...
So you spent a year working for your previous boss and understanding the landscape.
Yeah.
Okay, and then now you start Quest.
The landscape,
you start Papa Center.
Yeah.
Wife pregnant.
For about a year and a half, because I'd come back in 2005, May. And by July, I was working for him. Yeah. And so 1.5 years.
Okay.
We're done well. We're done well with that company. But now it's like it's time to build my own thing. And that's when I started. And that's when...
Are you alone you start?
I'm alone. I mean, I have partners, I have people who have come and are saying, okay, I want to join. Shareholders who are saying we'll put in some money. It was tough. This is a tough market. I want to say this now, if we are going into the business arena. Yeah. This is a tough market to start a business. It's a tough market anywhere in the world to start a business, but particularly in Kenya, because there's a way capital is supposed to behave. There's a way shareholders are supposed to behave around raising capital. But the capital in Kenya is not patient, and then it doesn't know equity. In equity, if you lose, you lose. You took a risk. But in Kenya, equity is pay me back. It didn't go well, pay me back. And you're like, it's not, so I learned very many lessons around capital in Kenya, the right money, the wrong money, the hard.
Please explain a bit more about what you mean when you say the right money, the wrong money.
I mean, there's the kind of capital that's going to grow your business is not impatient capital. It's not capital you put in today and by next week you're being asked where's the return. It takes time to nurture a baby. It takes time. And again, remember this is 2007, and so I started my business. We're now looking at growth. I built it. We open offices in Uganda, in Tanzania.
You started, and this is the speed at which you were growing.
Yeah. Within a year and a half, I was in Uganda
the
and
region.
Tanzania.
I want us just to dwell a bit about this capital story. So, you've been here less than 2 years. You've already formed enough relationships for you to get this kind of capital.
I didn't have the relationships. I just had mad faith. I didn't have the relationships. I just knew I had to start.
So
I had to start. So as soon as I put the business plan together in my living room, I put a business plan together. It took me 2 weeks, and I went around and started shopping for money.
Yeah.
I had over 70 meetings in a month. And guess what? 70. I was giving a talk the other day. It was 70 yeses wrapped. It was 70 no's wrapped as yeses. There's nothing as bad for a business person when people tell you yes, but they didn't mean it. As soon as you walk out the door, they're like, never pick that guy's call again. And it's better when people just say no. No. I'm
and
not
that's
interested.
what you're used to in the States.
That's
No
what
is
you're
a
used
no.
to.
Yeah.
Straightforward answers. I love Nigerians for that also. Straightforward. No, I'm not interested. Not going to happen. So I'm like, you said yes, but you're not picking my calls. You said yes, I can't meet you again. You said yes, your secretary is blocking me from accessing you. So I read. That's why people need to read some of this language very quickly. Don't waste too much time there. I know people like.
And this is unique to Kenya.
Very unique to Kenya because in most parts of the world, people have just learned to be very direct. I do my best to be direct to people and say, can't do it. I just can't. Because you do people a favor. They stop lingering around your reception. Yeah, once you've said it's not going to happen, that's it, So
while people may think you're being harsh, what you're actually doing is saving them.
You're actually saving them from wasting, because people have two assets in life, time and energy. And don't waste either for them. Now, are there people who have told no and they've continued to come, and at some point I'm like, just give them. There is a point of persistence, but you've got to be smart about where do I think I can be persistent. So I said so many no's. Eventually, I get a call from this former guy that had brought me to this place, and he says, there's a guy you should meet. I meet those guys to hear my story. They're like, okay, this sounds interesting. We're willing to put in some money.
But it's none of these 70.
None of those 70.
Yeah.
None of those 70. So I'd done the work. I'd hit this road and the streets. So get some money, start the business. It grows. It starts to make money. People start to see it. We start to get engaged. And I start getting people flying in to meet me because they're like, we like what you're building. We'd like to have more conversations. I share with my shareholders. They're like, very good. So a lot of learning around even how people look at businesses. So South Africans were coming in. They were very interested in this thing. I started getting a name in that credit bureau and data space. And people started including me in important conversations. And that's how somehow that happened. Then
Let me ask now, from a team perspective, because now you're no longer one person. You're hiring for the first time.
In
your Kenyan life.
I had over 60 employees there.
How was that? And now they're reporting to you. What was that in terms of managing? You had this experience from the States. Is there a difference?
Dealing with people in an office for me was never really, I had a lot of experience there. The Kenyan flavor was different, but again, it's people. Bottom line, it's people, right? Kenyans are a lot more subtle. Americans are loud, and they will hit you where it hurts most as an employer if you're not taking care of them. Kenyans are subtle, they'll still hit you where it hurts most. You just won't see it coming. And either way, it's just our style. I learned to adapt and understand. So I've got these people reporting to me. Some of them left the previous company. They were also disgruntled. And the big lesson is do your best not to necessarily move with disgruntled employees. do your best. If you can, just be wise about building. Those are things I teach elsewhere. Because when I left, I was upset, and so the people who are upset with me left with me. But sometimes the problem with that is you carry that attitude to your business, and so not everybody that's disgruntled at the previous place where you left needs to join you in your new gig, because that can cause problems, and that happens a lot. Oh, Charlie, that guy thinks he's the only one who knows this thing. We're gonna leave. So you leave with 30%. That church thinks it understands people leave. But if you go start a church with disgruntled people, chances are you will have a lot of problems in your hands. And so I found myself, people worked hard. I must be honest, they worked very hard because our lives depended on it. And so people put in hard work, hard time. They were able to deliver, grow. They also got their own experiences. People got to see a bit more of the world. We made our mistakes because I did a very big deal with a group in South Africa for a merger with now this company. And I was like, okay, we're starting to see success. But just 2 weeks before we signed, we went into our elections. And this was in 2007. And Kenya went into
the post-election violence.
Post-election violence that we've ever seen. So these guys chilled out. We had taken space in Chris Kirubi's building.
Yes,
in
International Lifehouse. Yes.
Taken 2 floors because they had instructed me, take the floors, get ready, we're coming. And guess what? Now my whole American experience was coming to play because what they wanted to do was bring the call centers here. We start handling the same type of data issues that we used to have, and they had American clients. So they told me we're going to put 2,000 seats in Kenya. Out of our 40,000 seats, 2,000 seats will come to Kenya. And that was a good start. But the plan was we'll even eventually make them 10,000 seats. So in my head, I'm like, I'm going to employ kingdom people. We're done. Yes, God, thank you for telling me to come back to Kenya. Hey, yeah. We're going to war.
Oh, my God.
And Kenya goes crazy, and those guys freak out and say, Julian, we'd like to hold off for 6 months to allow Kenya to cool down. We see where things are. That time, we're going to post-election violence. I've taken 2 extra floors of space, costing me probably $20,000 to $25,000 every month. I've got employees. I've got shareholders who are like, you told us we have a merger. What's happening? I'm like, we're slaughtering each other with machetes. That's what's happening. Oh, wait a minute. The world goes into recession.
Oh, man.
So now I have a double whammy. Recession,
post-election
violence, punched from both sides. And everything that could go wrong went wrong. And so I remember sitting there in a very distressed position because now even the work we had was not sustaining the
business
expenses I had, because now I was preparing for a big merger. And these guys were going to pump in significant money. So what happens to the South African group? Their stock price tanks so badly that the last thing they have on their minds is any merger. They call me and say, Julian, this has to wait because things are bad. In South Africa, we're losing everything. We can't do this. They lost contracts from the States. They lost everything. They lost their centers. The chairman became even sick and almost suicidal. He was very depressed. So I said, these guys, the last thing they have on their minds is Julian. So now I had to deal with 2 things. 3 things. My shareholders, my employees,
and Chris Kirubi. That's what I call him.
As one of my biggest creditors that I owed money. So I decide, okay, so my shareholders, moody, upset. How did we get into this position? I'm like, everybody was happy when I was going to sign. All of you saw the documents. Everybody was excited. Now, all hell has broken loose. Somebody has to hang for this. The person that has to hang
is me.
And then at this time, church is still going on.
I will get to church even.
Wife is over there, babies,
Baby number one has already come.
Baby number one has come, and we're just like, Jesus, help. So I pray and I just go back to God and say, you need to guide me on what to do here, because no matter which way I look at what happened, I wouldn't have done anything any different. There's nothing we did. We didn't steal money. We didn't. Just events have just led to a very bad place. And everybody was stressed out. I had employees threatening to take me to court because now I'm not paying them. So I just went on my knees. I sought for wisdom. I said, God, help me. And so we found ourselves in this very interesting place where now I needed to deal with creditors. We owed people almost $1 million worth of money. Yes, 100 million shillings worth of debt. And it was bad. Long story short, I decided, let me go start with Chris Kirubi. I owed him about 40 million. And I said, Chris, I couldn't have done this any different. I said, and I'm at your mercy. You can decide to auction me, because they'd already sent me letters for auction. You can decide to auction me, and you're justified in every way, but you've seen what has happened. Here's what took place. I took him through the history. Here are my merger documents. Here are my letters. Chris was very understanding. And actually, I must say, at that moment in time, I think he looked at me like a son. At that moment in time, there's a grace God gave him that he looked at me as I think he saw a younger him. Because I don't know what happened in that room, but everybody I've met with tells me, what? That's not Chris. But I believe God was there in that room with us, because after I displayed everything, I said, I'm not going to hide anything from you. Here is the reality of the matter. I owe you 40 million. I can't pay you. However, help me recover, and whatever else I build, I'll still be in this building. And I'll find a way to still get you back this kind of rent. He says, okay, so you did this. Okay, let's remove this. Let's remove this. He took 40 million down. By the time we were done, we were at about, initially we were at 40 million, then he first did 20. So I left him and I came back the next day. He's like, you again? Yeah, me again. What is it now? I can't afford this 20. 10 million. Go, come back. Third day. He said, young man.
No way.
I said, I can't pay you. Like, we have come down to 10. Like, I can't pay you. By the time we were done, that bill came to 1.2 million.
No way.
Yeah. So that's how I cleared that. So I went back to the shareholders. I said, of our debt, I've narrowed it down to now 60 million. The business is making money. The next thing, I need to streamline employees.
Yeah.
So, employees, I can't pay you guys. This is what I can do. I'll do my best here. Some feel, injustice. Some feel, but at this time, I'm like, I need to keep a sane mind, because I can go crazy. And let me tell you, people don't understand what entrepreneurs and employers go through. And there's one thing my former employer had told me, Steve, now here in Kenya. He said, Julian, one day you'll understand the dilemma of an employer. And now I was sitting there saying, I understand what Stephen was telling me, because it's easy to sit as an employee and point fingers. But the day you sit a little bit in the other shoes, because I understand people have families, but nothing around this was prescribed. So anyway, we narrow down, I come to an agreement with the employees, I do what I can, I finish with the employees. The next thing is, okay, Julian.
So they leave?
Yeah.
You're shutting down shop?
No, we're not shutting down shop. I'm restructuring.
Okay, completely. Okay, I get it.
And I come back to shareholders. I say, this is where we are. And at this point, the business has got these many clients. This is what it's doing. I don't know what else to do. They say, okay, Julian, a lot of things have happened. This is a very tough situation. I say, yes, it is. So here's what I'm willing to do. I'm going to trade in my shares, all my shares, to all of you, as because now we still have about 40 million left in all that stuff, but the business is making about 60 million a year or so, 70 million in its original business. I say, since there's business here, why don't you take my shares? I convert my shares, and I convinced the FD and everyone else to do the same. Let's hand them over to you as shareholders for $1. and I'll walk away from everything I've built. And that's how I solved my first company dilemma.
Oh, yeah. You know, your story is insane. I have so many questions about this sector because I have been an employee with entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So first and foremost, how did you stay sane?
I think what you have to do, and I can tell you now that I've got about a bit more experience after that. Remember, I was just 30 something at that time, 32, 33. I've learned something. There's a mindset training that entrepreneurs have to have. There's like a gym of the mind and the spirit that you have to ensure you don't allow your body to get tainted with the acid that comes from that stress, because I'll tell you, you can die early. It is such intense stress that is unexplainable to many people. It is so intense that, especially when other lives are dependent on you, that you've got to separate. You have to find the science that separates spirit, body, and mind to deal with each individual thing succinctly and with discipline. It's a discipline that very few people attain, to be able to sleep and wake up saying, it's a new day, I'll deal with the problems of today. And Jesus told us, don't worry about tomorrow. So the thing I train a lot of entrepreneurs to say is, train your mind to deal with today. Tomorrow has its own chaos. I mean, if the rapture happens tomorrow, why were you worrying about it? Tomorrow has its own chaos. So deal with today. In those situations, deal with today. He told us when he was teaching his disciples about how to pray, he said, there are 4 things you all worry about. All of us worry about these 4 things. Then he tells us, do not worry about what you will drink. Do not worry about what you will eat. Do not worry about what you will wear. And do not worry about tomorrow. The 4 things all of us worry about. Jesus categorized them, and he told us, don't worry about these 4 things. And this is where you have to be at that entrepreneur point, that employer point, that employee point. The company is going down. Don't over worry. How will my children who survived world wars, children who were there in world wars and didn't go to school for 3 years, eventually went to school and graduated. So relax. COVID is not
an end
to the world. So you'll graduate when you're 2 years older. The world is fine. You'll be okay. And so you train your mind to never, it's not caring. It is just a state of dealing with today's hell today. If you think of 6 months ahead, you'll collapse. And that's what happens.
And how do you, I love what you're saying. So part of the training of your mind is don't think, I'm not saying don't think about tomorrow, but don't worry about tomorrow. Deal with today.
It is scriptural to not be anxious for anything. Let me ask you, what was the one thing in 2005 that you were so worried about that you felt you were going to lose your mind? You can't remember.
I can't.
Thank you.
It's true.
But most times when we worry like that, we get sick. When we get anxious, we get sick. A very big percentage of sicknesses is as a result of our worry. And when Jesus is telling us, don't be anxious for anything, but through prayer and supplication, let your requests be made known unto God. It is saying, I can't handle this hell. So God, here it is. I'm not the one who told myself to come back to Kenya. I know that. So somewhere you knew this was going to happen. And it's only, let me put it this way, and what keeps me sane is that the Bible says all things work together for good, right? All things work together for good. Not all things are good, but all things work together for good. Faith is not a denial of our reality. It doesn't deny the fact. God never told you, Richard, to say those things that are as though they are not. That is never scriptural. You don't have cancer and you say, cancer, you're not here. It's there. He said, say those things that are not as though they are. So healing is what I can speak of. Peace is what I can speak of, but I need to be able to cross. So that training of my first company, I did not know that I'd have 10 times more employees, 10 times more financial responsibility in my next thing.
Yep.
26 countries, not 28 countries, not 3. I didn't know. And that's why it says, count it all joy when you go through diverse trials and temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith produces patience. That word patience there is the word stamina. Everything you've gone through makes you stronger. The Esther I met, let me tell you, I don't think you remember. I met you, it was fashion. You were wearing these t-shirts that you used to design yourself with graffiti and, torn in a few places. And what was the one thing you were very stressed about that day? Rev, this week, I don't know if I have food and bus fare. You were very stressed. I don't have transport. Do you think about that now?
Nah.
But it is possible to get stuck there. And the dilemma of your life becomes 1 week's
Stuck. That's the word.
You have to learn to get unstuck. Every level you get unplugged. And I keep saying, so my dilemma was, I'm in this thing. So I solved a 100 million shilling problem, not knowing that I'd soon be running a 20, 30 billion shilling organization.
Even before we get there, let me ask this question. The second thing, what made you have the belief that having a conversation with Chris Kirubi, I mean, you went there 3 times.
Yeah.
From 40 to 20, that was already a miracle on its own. This is Chris Kirubi.
Yeah.
What madness, that's the word,
Yeah.
made you believe, nah, we can still go down?
I remember the story of Jesus when there was a woman that came and asked him for bread, and he said, bread is for the children of Israel. And she said, but even the crumbs the dogs can eat. And Jesus said, this is great faith. What I remembered was, keep going back. He gave another parable about a judge who kept hearing a woman's plea. And he said, just give her what she wants, lest she keeps coming back. That's exactly what I did. I applied scripture.
For you, the Bible is not this holy book that excites you and makes you feel like...
It has been my greatest business guide. Greatest. Everything I've needed in business: capital raising, capital restructure, people restructure, future thinking, sustenance, provision. It's there. Every formula you need to have to understand how to stay in when you feel like giving up, it's there. It's been prescribed for us. Those are stories that were written. Everything. That's what the Bible says. Everything was written aforetime for our benefit. Then use it. Then use it. I went back and Chris succumbed.
Yes.
And we became great friends. And he'd come in my next company and we'd sit for hours just laughing and talking.
This is
the same
insane.
Man who had sent auctioneers to my office. You can get anything you want if you follow the principles God has laid out.
Okay.
And there began my madness now. Now I was like, now let's take this thing to another level.
Okay, I want now people to understand the other side that was happening. Because you're building a church.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this thing. You're in Mombasa. We're going to come back. So we've put a timestamp here where you've left the business.
Right.
Given your share for $1. It's a lesson on its own. Let's talk about this church that you're building. Let me just say this, and I am your proof. I remember you saying when you started the church, I will never draw a salary from this church, or something like, I don't take a salary of this church.
Yeah.
I'm here to add into the church.
Yes.
So let's enter this Papa Center.
Yeah.
The name, even, where does it come from? Let's begin that journey.
Hungry? Order your favorite meals and drinks from hundreds of restaurants through the best app and have your food delivered to your doorstep. Download the AppFree delivery app now.
Okay, how do you come out of this? So what happens now? You're in Kenya. That's where you've left this story.
Yeah. So I decided to come back, and my family was very highly against it. I'm like, no, I shouldn't. I'm like, no, I have to face my problems. people I left there are not my employees, that's my family.
Oh, powerful.
So what happens to them if I decide? Because I could shut down, I'll still be fine. I'll be okay. So I come back and I face everything head on. The first thing I do is negotiate. Negotiate. Okay, this is what I owe you. Cool. This is how I'll pay you. First of all, I dilute a bit.
To get some capital
Yeah,
injection.
to get some capital. So I sort out the headaches. Okay. Even my dilution was not at the right time. It was very minimal, though I didn't feel it.
Like how? What percentage?
It was slightly above 10%.
Okay.
Yeah. So
less than 20.
yeah.
Okay.
So I sort out these issues, and then
That's a really bad time to dilute a business
Yeah.
when you're desperate for finance,
Yeah.
for cash.
and I had tried to go to banks, nothing, and my cash flow was good, man. Up to this time, my cash flow was pretty good. It has always been good.
Okay. So you sort out the headaches. The guys who are, and the headaches are not necessarily the big boys. It's just the guys who are excessively on your case.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
People just go.
Yeah, but don't worry, the
Okay, yeah. People that are on my case. And then, so I do that. So that gives me some room now to breathe. But then I make commitments. I'm like, you know what? Effective today, this is what I'll be paying you. Okay? And I keep that going, and I keep it going, and I keep it going, and I keep it going. And I notice that my liabilities are reducing significantly. So what I do is I zip all the loopholes. I make sure they're gone. So now,
you fire people.
yeah, a lot. I changed a lot of departments. I think I just kept like 2 people that I felt needed to stay. 3 people.
Everyone else out.
Everyone else in major departments.
Okay. And riders.
Rather stay.
Okay.
I fire quite a number of them.
Riders.
Yeah, but majority of them stayed,
Okay.
and they were very sad. Anyway, so yeah, take some guys to court, so on and so forth. So I try and now face these issues head on. And then now we control our spend, how we're spending money. So that also helps. And then I noticed that 2 months, 3 months in, our liabilities are heavily reduced. And we keep going, and then we keep going, and then we keep going, and then the relationships now are starting to come back. And then during that time, this December 2020, January, February, our business dipped because of, number one, the rain season. So the rain season affects a lot. And then I think also our users were trying the competitors at some point. So they left and they came back. But then I noticed in March, our business now starts going up again. Goes up, goes up, goes up.
Why
goes
do you
up.
think your users, if they left to go to your competitors, why do you think they came back to you?
I don't know, because maybe they felt I think they felt like they got more value from us. Yeah. And they were also, it's like when a new club opens, people sample it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they no longer sample it anymore. They just, and it had built a great bond with our users. Yeah. So most of them were just going there for the freebies because they were giving a lot of free stuff.
Okay, I get.
And then eventually, once business normalized, they came back. So I noticed business started going up. Now we're able now to sustain ourselves properly. I managed to stay sane. Now I'm okay.
Lafarge, you had a sit down with.
Yeah, last year in
CEO.
September. Yeah.
But you remember you've told me you've cancelled the contract, or they didn't, or they ignored you.
No, they didn't ignore. We had another sit down.
Oh, serious? You cancelled?
Yeah. So we decided to renegotiate.
You are not. Your terms are not good.
Yeah, they were not good at that time.
Okay.
But they didn't know they were not good. They thought they were good until now I put everything on the table and told them, man, I'm not making anything here. And my costs were unbelievable. I didn't think, I think I underestimated how open they were to hearing my concerns.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And after that, that became my best relationship ever. And then now, I had just contacted their CEO and asked him whether he would mind being my mentor.
That's powerful. Why? Because before you had nobody to talk to.
No, nobody told me anything. Nobody.
All these years that you've been in Zambia.
Yeah, all this time.
From a.
People don't know me. You'll be very shocked at how many people
Yeah,
say,
I know
"Oh,
Kenyans don't even know you.
no."
That's what I guess must
Leave
be
even
shocked
Kenyans,
by this interview.
even Zambians. They'll be like, "Oh, you're the guy." I'm sure you've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot.
You're the guy behind. It's all
Pompey knows everybody, but Pompey, he knows about Afri delivery, but he didn't know you.
Yeah. Even most restaurants don't know me. They don't.
And
I
they
walk
under
in
you.
there casually. Few people know me. Very, very few. And also now,
Has that been intentional though?
it wasn't intentional. I would want them to know me. I would have wanted them to know me. But let me tell you, entrepreneurship hammers you to a point where, first of all your confidence goes. So you get to a point where you're afraid that if they know you, they'll only tell you about what's not working instead of telling you what's. They magnify that negativity on you. Understand? Complaints and so on and so forth. I didn't mind them. But let me hear them from my team, because my team will be a bit reasonable. They will tell me this is a valid complaint. This one is not. Okay? And then also I noticed there was a certain
10% cannot be working, but they'll make that 10% feel like it's 90%.
Yeah. But I also noticed there was a certain perception they had. Because, of course, a few things. My style, when I walk in.
Your youthful look. First of all, how old are you?
I'm 32 now.
You're 32?
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole fact that you've got tattoos.
Yeah.
And let me ask a straight up question. Companies like this are normally run by whites.
Yeah.
Did that affect?
Yeah.
Are people shocked to know that Afri delivery is a black owned business?
My employees told me the most often question they ask is whether their boss is white. Yeah, that's what they told me.
What?
Yeah.
I know
I've seen conversation dying off when I meet people. When I walk into a room, I can see the conversation dying slowly.
tattoos.
I'm like, yeah, it's me.
Black.
Because even when I'm going to the office, I'm a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy and sneakers.
Dress code.
Yeah, it's just me. So you listen to me. If it makes sense to you, cool. If it doesn't, I don't have to prove myself to that point where I now have to dress in suits and so on. My hustle for the next 10 years, for the last 10 years, has done that for me. So if you can't see any value, then trust me, this is not where you belong. I've done that. I've gone through that phase. Yeah, so take it or leave it, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. That has been, it has been a hit. And I've seen, I remember one, I wouldn't mention the name, but I remember one guy that came very excited to the office. And that guy left 10 minutes later the office and he never called ever again.
Because you're a black guy with tattoos and jeans.
Yeah, I'm not the idea of what such a CEO should look like or behave and so on.
Okay, let's talk about now.
Yeah.
So are you in the green? I've heard you say often, now is when we're doing profits.
Yeah.
Just random questions. You don't have to answer again. I always give people the opportunity to keep what they believe should be private, and what's public.
1 week later, I'm that guy writing an email to everyone, telling them, hey guys, hizo check msibank. Juu mkibank zita bounce. Juu sina do. Because the guy of 4M amesema sasa nianze kumprovia ROI.
Ouch.
The guy of 2M, the guy of 2M calls me and tells me, come with the contracts and you need to sign. So me, I'm happy. I go meet him at a restaurant that has a parking lot. And I don't want to say the restaurant because if I say the restaurant, you can zero in and figure out who it is. So I go. I meet the guy. So we enter his car. Then he looks at the contracts. Then he says, forget these contracts. So I'm like, Then he opens his car. Is it called a glove compartment? This car compartment hapa katikati. He opens and he shows me. So see me, I'm waiting for 2M from him. he shows me 4 million in cash. For context, I am so broke, believe it or not, I fueled 100 shillings to go for that meeting.
What?
Because I figured that 100 shillings, that 1 liter can take me about 8 to 10 kilometers rather than me trying to get an Uber. That money won't tosha.
Yeah.
Even if I was to get a boda, that money won't tosha.
What?
So I fueled 100 shillings to go for that meeting. But see, me, I knew I was coming back with like 2 meter.
Yeah.
So I'm okay.
So here, guy
So the
Funguas,
guy funguas and shows me
For-
4 meter.
forget about your contract for 2 meter with these terms and conditions. Why do I feel like Shylock coming on?
Worse than a Shylock. He says, this money, double in 12 months or triple in 18 months. What do you do?
Yeah.
You have people calling you, abusing you, threatening you. Guys showing you 4 meter there.
And he's telling you, double these chums.
In 12 months or triple in 18 months.
Guy. This has now become the movie. On one end, okay, let me understand this. Wow. This is hard. You have bills galore, people who you owe money, drama that you need to pay, people who you've written checks, post-dated, telling them not to bank. Not just people, these are your actors, your staff,
Actors,
your crew,
yeah.
everybody.
Some suppliers
Yes.
also.
Number 2, your bank account has 0 bob. You're so broke you can only fuel a sock. Your wife has been with you, so it's not that she's at Jobo. Okay. Shucks.
But you know that word you said initially? You felt Shylock vibes?
Yeah.
I felt that Shylock
Yeah.
vibe.
But I felt Sherlock. Yeah.
So as much as
Because if you don't pay that thing, your kids may not have a father, and those ones I fear.
imagine I didn't take the money.
I'm not surprised.
I didn't take the money. I went home. I explained to my wife slowly the story. I explained to her slowly. Then before I finished, she just told me, I hope you didn't take the money.
Yeah.
Then I told her I didn't take it. She said, Sawa, we'll find a way.
Guy.
Let me tell you, the months after that movie, actually wait. The months after that movie was so bad, and especially because at that time, this is 2019, my dad had been diagnosed with cancer in 2017 or 18. So he was going through treatment. But now you're at that point where you're comfortable, like you get by because the rest of the family is chipping in. Even that time from me when I had my salary at Coca-Cola, 2018 I had the money, so you know my mom was able to, NHIF is helping, nini. But you know at some point the chemo sessions overrun the how many sessions you're allowed by NHIF in a year. And it's those ones of, you use my dad's card, finishes, use my mom's card, finishes, now you have to start paying cash. So we are in 2019. That same 2019, my mom-in-law was a teacher. So she was retiring in June. So we finished the movie in February. So she's retiring in June, and she had built a school at their home in Taveta. And that was her retirement plan. So all these months now, it's day by day struggling. Maybe someone pays you something that they owe you from some deal before. Then you figure out, how do I balance between home and paying
debts.
off someone, you know. So you start looking through your list of people who you owe. And now the reasoning was this. And it was a struggle between. So let's say
And post-production needs to happen.
post-production needs to happen. The beauty about post-production is, again, another angel sent to us, a guy called Edu-G. You know Edu-G?
Yeah, I know Edu-G very well.
So Edu-G, when he
Edu-G is the one who did the editing of...
yeah. And listen to this. Edu-G came to see me. He called me. We spoke. Then he said he wants to come to the set. He came to the set. At that time, we were still negotiating who would edit. So we were still looking at different quotations. So he came to the set, I think, on day 2 or 3. So he came to the set, he checked it out. I'd sent him the story, he looked at it. Then Edu-G told me, I know how movies go. I'll edit for you. Give me 1% equity.
What?
That's it.
Guy. Hey, you guy, your story has extremes. Extreme good. Extreme bad. What?
Yeah, 1% equity. Like, he wasn't greedy. He was like, just give me 1% equity. 1%.
First of all, he saw the vision of the movie. Actually, he saw the brilliance. Edu-G has been in this industry for years. Edu-G was black sky. He used to shoot fast music videos.
Do you know how I looked at that 1% that he asked for?
Huh.
It's like the way there are some transactions business-wise. I can't give you something just like that. It has to look like you bought it, even if for 1 shilling. That was how I took it. And I was so grateful because now the quotations that we had been receiving for editing were crossing into almost a mic. So now here's a guy who's telling you, I'll do it for 1%. And you know 1% means uko mbele after mpate pesa.
Exactly.
Is when you give me, you know.
That's crazy.
So my this is my response to you about post-production has to go on.
Yes.
Luckily it was going on. However, unaona vile Samke alituletea drive mbili za 4TB na 2TB.
Don't tell me.
No, what were we doing before then? Tulikuwa na drive ya 500GB, 250GB, 1TB, the biggest 2TB. So now we have, while the movie was 17TB in total, like now when we compressed everything together, of course, because of all the footage, it was much bigger than that. I think we're talking like 20-something GB.
Yeah.
So imagine the number of drives that we had. Now imagine connecting them to one computer to try to edit. And you don't have a big drive to be able to transfer because you don't have chums to afford a big drive to be able to transfer. But let me tell you, at that point, I had no urgency to finish this movie because like I was drained. I was drained, and let me tell you, I was not depressed, but in 2019, I understood depression. In 2019, I would wake up and on purpose, I don't switch on my phone. I make sure my son has gone to school. Then I switch on my phone. I have been abused. Messages, abused.
Because of guys' chums.
Yes. Paka, I switch off my phone. Paka, you're even scared of leaving the house. Go back to sleep.
This is the first time in your life you were in debt on this kind of a scale. Not
yes.
Even,
On this kind of a scale.
Yeah.
It was massive. Let me tell you how massive this was. At that same time, you're battling with now bills for my dad. For my dad are starting to. Now we need to start figuring them out. I don't know if you'll understand if I tell you this. At that point, you can't really tell your folks what you've done and how you don't have choose. Because, are you stupid? You know? So you're hoping that something will happen where you don't have to go through this. So, around May, so we finished February. My mom-in-law is supposed to retire in June. Around May, she starts feeling unwell. So in the middle of that, my wife starts now also taking her to Hosi for tests here and there. Luckily, see, she's still under Teacher Service Commission. So a number of the costs are taken care of. Then, of course, she had her savings, but she did so many tests that she started, like, it started draining her. Like now money started running out. Then she was diagnosed with cancer. So now my dad has cancer, my mom-in-law has cancer. We have a movie somewhere in many drives. We are not even pressuring Eduji. Like Eduji is updating us and telling us, nimefika hapa, we don't care. Like, because at that point you're like, actually, one of the threats that we had received was other people telling you, some part of the cast and the crew. Because one of the things that we thought we could do was, Eduji did a teaser trailer for us. So one of the things we thought we could do was release the teaser trailer and see if we can start raising interest from people somehow. So I went back to the cast and crew. So I had a mailing list of the cast and crew. And I wrote to them and I told them, as part of me trying to raise chums, there's this teaser trailer we want to release so that we start getting interest, we get chums so that we can pay you guys.
Don't you dare.
Hey, Niliambiwa, don't you dare. Don't you dare release something with me and you haven't paid me. So that time, one of your fears, of course, is social media. So I was like, okay, sawa, I respect your feedback. It's your chums. And one of the things that Kevin Muley taught me, and I think it's a brilliant thing to do, even if you owe people money, do not refuse to pick up their calls and be honest with them. Like, Richie, even if I owe you money and I've owed you for how long? You'll call me, I'll pick up your phone. Even if you abuse me on that call, kama sina nitakwambia sina. And I'll tell you how this helped me a few months later. So the guys now say you can't release the trailer. So my plan B at that point becomes, let me do crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is something that's normal in even film industry. Like I've seen it. So I started doing crowdfunding. So I did
Mutua Masaka, who I interviewed on CTA, that's how they raised money to do that trip that they were doing. Africa Unscrambled. Crowdfunding.
So I put a poster on social media. I was abused. I was ridiculed. I was laughed at. Unajisikia umetoka music industry, unakuja film industry, unajaribu kutushow nini? Ona sasa umekwama. Other people, sasa pesa yetu tutalipwa na pesa ya crowdfunding.
All of this is what they're writing on the comments.
No. Now, this is the funny thing about human beings. You send me a screenshot of Dero talking badly about me. Then Dero sends me a screenshot of you talking badly about me. But, funny enough, I just kept on saying, it's wrong, it's not right for them to say those things they are saying, but I understand where they're coming from because it's their chums. So for me, it was important to show myself to them that I owe you your chums. I don't have your chums to pay you right now, but I am acknowledging publicly that I owe you chums. Now, let me tell you, and this one I'll never forget. As soon as I put that call out for crowdfunding like this, Fully Focus was the first person to send me money. Imagine people sent me money. People sent me money. Ruben Odanga, Pascal Tokodi, Nick Mutuma, Lucy Mwangi, Eve D'Souza. They sent Mudhoni Buika. They sent me money.
What? And that's the film?
Yes.
And beyond.
Do you know what I was telling them? When the film comes out, when we do the premiere, I'll give you a ticket. Guys were sending 5 Gs, 10 Gs, 15 Gs. let me tell you, I even got money from, and I can never forget these 3 people from the US. Cindy Kanaga, a chick in the US who we met in one of the shows that we went with Nyash. Peter Kabugi, a guy I was with in Dago, who's a DJ there, and Dan Ondari, a friend of Nyash, who I met also, huko. Like, people were just sending chums. And let me tell you, the chums were coming in, and I pay off people. Now, luckily at that point, as one of the businesses that I was doing,
entrepreneurship is finished. It's for finishing, guys.
One of the businesses I was doing ever since I left Coca-Cola was I got a contract as a Skiza aggregator for Safaricom. So I'd signed up a number of artists. So at least I was making some money. But the way I'd set up in my bank system, that money used to come and it used to be a standing order directly for rent. So it used to come in and go out. So now sometimes it used to come in and then maybe it's less than what I need. Then I have to top up for it to go as a standing order. Then sometimes when it's a bit more, then I'm able to chomoa from there. But I started paying off people slowly. Now, there are people who there's someone who went and reported me to cops.
What?
Yeah. No, actually several people reported me to cops. But 2 of them called me, and I'll always remember this one cop. He called me. Unaitwa Fakii? Yes. Wewe ndio ulifanya ile movie? Yes. Kuna ujamaa ulitumia kama actor wako nini? Yes. Pesa yake mbona hujamlipa? Unatoroka na pesa yake? Sijatoroka nayo, ni vile sina. Kwa hivyo uko na pesa yake? Niko nayo, ananidai ndio. Nafaa kumlipa lakini ni vile sina. Ngoja. Kwa hivyo unasema uko na pesa yake? Niko na pesa yake. Na the reason hujamlipa ni sababu hauna. Sina, nikipata nitamlipa. The cop was like, sasa unajua si tuna deal na kama umekataa kulipa. Lakini kama unasema, you know.
Oh man.
Yeah. So the cop was like, wacha nimwambie ngoje tu, hivyo ndio maisha ukuanga. I was so happy when he said that. Another one, his lawyer called me. So now when I started getting these small chums, what I would do is this, So I owe you guy, both of you, like say a sock. So I get kidogo chums, then I call both of you. I tell you, can I pay you 10 to 20 Gs slowly mpaka iishe? So you say no, you want all your money at once. Dero says, me sawa, you can pay me slowly. So you've said no, so me I start with Dero. So I start with Dero mpaka I finish. Then now you now getting angry because I haven't paid you. So you're trying to gang up. So you're now calling Dero. Umse nini. Then Dero says, mi amenilipa. Amekulipa? Alikuwa ananilipa pole 2020. So now you call me and tell me, sawa basi.
Nilipa 2020.
Which, by the way, and I'm laughing, not madharau to them.
Yeah.
It's the relief that I was getting. So no madharau to them at all. There's one who his lawyer called me and told me, this guy is telling me to take you to court. I'm trying to tell him to negotiate a slow payment with you, but he doesn't understand. Him is insisting on taking you to court. And he's not understanding that court can go badly. So he even told the guy, listen, we can take Fakii to court. Fakii will be called by the judge. He'll be asked, do you owe this guy? Yes.
Fakii say yes.
How much? 100 Gs. You can't pay? No, I don't have chums. How much can you raise? If I say 100 shillings a week and the judge hits that thing like that, unless you appeal,
yeah, that's what you'll be paid.
I'll pay you 100
shillings
bob
a week
until iishe. So the lawyer just told me, listen, give me a settlement plan. So I gave him a plan. So what I would do is, so the settlement plan was 10 Gs per week. So I send the guy 10 Gs, I take the M-Pesa message, I send to the lawyer. When I finished, the lawyer now told me, now send me 10 Gs, we close this file. I sent him 10 Gs, we closed the file.
Yo, hold on, Fakii. You know, I'm in shock. This is what is happening behind the scenes.
This was 2019. Bado.
No, but this at this time of 2019, this is what is happening. Hey, we don't know.
2019, and remember I told you why it was important to shoot in my house. Part of my conversation with guys was, you know where I live. Hakuna mali naenda. You know where I live. You have been to my house.
Okay. How are you coping mentally? Because there is you, there's your wife. Both of you have been in the strain of making this movie, number one. And sometimes strain brings people even closer together.
Kabisa. It did. It did. I think doing this project together was one of the best decisions ever, because you know the way right now you see stories about men who are struggling to maintain a certain level of provision at home, because also they can't reveal to their wives that maybe they're struggling in business. You've heard those stories of someone is fired, but he doesn't tell the wife he's fired. He keeps on leaving the house every day while he's looking for another job, you know. But for me, because we were in it together, like we know, like we knew, you know.
Yeah. And she's the person you'd go and lay on.
Yeah. There's a day. There's a day. Have you ever found money in that shimo of the jacket?
the jeans.
Of the jacket, it pitted. So when you're holding the jacket, you feel something huku chini. Then when you put your hand in,
it's a G.
Let me tell you, I think it was 7 sock that she found. We planned that money. You'd have thought we were Ministry of Finance planning budget for Kenya. We planned that money. Let me tell you, there was a day, and my mom really got annoyed when we told her this story later on. There's a day when we were down to 100 shillings, and it was, we can buy milk for the toi, then si tutakula kesho. We'll figure out tomorrow. And we're like, it's okay. We'll figure out tomorrow. Because at that point, you're so stressed that food is not a priority. 2019, I lost weight. 2019, I think I lost about 14 or 15 kgs.
Huh?
Yeah. So I'm answering you now in terms of my mental headspace. It was bad. It was bad. And now we
How did that affect you and your kids now?
No, luckily, we were able to really, really separate and somehow cushion them from all this. Because so I had some friends, one of them being Moira. There's Philip Moniki and his wife Eve. There's Rita, there's Jason, and again back to Shodha. Those guys used to come to our house and just chill with us. And I don't know if I say this, it would be understood, but they helped us create a sense of normalcy in the house. So even what ended up being projected to the kids was that everything is normal, you know.
And it's good when you and your partner together. That's a good start.
Shodha one day showed up to my house with shopping. Let me tell you, I felt a tear. He showed up to my house with shopping, just brought shopping, and then just told me, my nephew and niece cannot suffer and I'm on this earth. Brought shopping, just bought basics in the house, nini. Here. Shodha's mom has a farm, so Shodha would bring things from their farm. Like you'd bring eggs, bring ndomas, nini, you know, like at least there was always something. But remember, all this time, we could never tell our folks really the real, you know, because
they're in their own drama.
yeah, and also, it's not easy to believe. Like Richie, imagine in 2019, I called you and told you I have a sock in my pocket. Would you ever believe me? So you'd think I'm punking you. You know. So, 2019, we get to June. My mom-in-law is diagnosed with cancer. So now we go through the motions of trying treatment here and there. So for some reason, my dad also, because he's going through cancer treatment, but it's not working.